Why do people spend time socializing and playing games in virtual reality? It's one of those questions that, for those already wrapped up in the ecosystem, it's obvious, but to those exclusively looking in, it is the mystery of the year as Apple and Meta push for new headsets. Although there are some exceptions I'm going to discuss later in the video, the vast majority of VR inhabitants lie on a slider where the min-max is socialite and gamer. Those on the left side of things are largely here for social interaction with other members of the VR community. But before we get into the types of socialites, let's look at if and why socializing in VR can be an improvement from other flat screen experiences such as video conferencing hangouts, think Zoom or Discord, and social games like Second Life. A quote from actress Michelle Yeoh: "Before you get into the mind, you have to inhabit the physicality. Body language is a great way of speaking." Although there is no better interaction with your friends than real life, people's networks are growing more and more across state and national boundaries, and with that, the need for digital social circumstances grows. Things like Zoom or Google Meet work well with small clusters of folks when exclusively socializing, probably no more than 5. The ability for side conversations, natural language flow, and eye-to-eye contact really disappear, and especially if you have experiences of corporate or social get-togethers with 8+ people, you know how impossible it is to leave those experiences feeling like you grew closer to really anybody, and this is where VR can really shine. Hanging out in a world or game together gets inherently easier when you can see an individual's mouth move, their hand gestures, and eye contact. Alongside location-based audio, you can begin to have those little side whispers to others that encourage connections. Social VR games really shine with improving this experience versus the average VR game, but the average VR game still allows you to feel closer to the person you're playing with than, say, a flat screen video or audio call ever could. Now, who are these socialites and what do they do? The vast majority of these individuals stick to a smaller subset of social VR titles like VR Chat, Rec Room, Neos VR, and Horizon Worlds. These social VR titles all allow some level of user-generated content through avatar customization and world creation. Those that are exclusively interested in socializing often lead towards social worlds that are just gorgeous to hang out in, but don't have many options for world interaction. Consider this close to the feeling of going out to a bar to drink and be merry with pals. Some of the more hardcore users focus heavily on self-expression through their avatars, even going as far as purchasing full body tracking equipment, though this is definitely not the norm. As we push towards the right of the scale, most of the users stay within these social VR titles, but the worlds that they tend to hang out in are more interactive, potentially playing more casual games like Uno, Connect 4, chess, tower defense, among many others. Some even go to work out or have dance classes with fellow users to work together towards a common goal. Moving a bit over the middle of the scale, we see the competitive individuals enter the chat, with competition more focused on others via head-to-head or team-based experiences. Games like 11 Table Tennis, Knock, Gym Class VR, Breachers, Walkabout Mini Golf, and others have players up and down their leaderboards that have kind of a solid mix of community engagement inside of this competitive gaming sphere. These games tend to offer a pared down version of social experiences you might get in social VR titles, but still allow communication through body language to be an improvement over flat screen multiplayer. Now, all the way to the end, there are those that are more self-competitive. High score individuals that find interest in speedrunning VR titles, some of the more popular being Boneworks and Rec Room Adventures, or more popularly, you have a large community of people who play rhythm games like Beat Saber, Synth Riders, and so on. VR allows such a new feel for using your whole body to continue to go after various high scores, with it not being too different from practicing sports or maybe timing yourself doing a Rubik's Cube in real life. Most of these activities provide a good workout alongside the dopamine hits that gaming is so good at giving. Not to be left out, being able to enjoy single-player games also comes with the territory for VR, although it definitely leans towards the PCVR hardcore users, whereas most other types of users talked about today can definitely coexist easily between standalone and PC users. Games like Half-Life Alyx, Vertigo 2, Saints and Sinners, Into the Radius, and more provide in-depth, immersive experiences that just aren't possible on flat-screen games. Tense moments of dread and scenes of ecstatic joy are only heightened in the headset as monsters become more lifelike and relationships with NPCs are much stronger. I think the transition from PC gamer to PCVR gamer is one of the easiest transitions to a VR headset. There are those users who I couldn't really find a place for on the scale, and those primarily focus on experience-driven content. Experience-driven content viewers are there to watch things like sports or concerts from seats they may not otherwise be able to afford, or experience movies, videos, and art that are either more convenient in VR or have a new twist with 180 or 360 field of view. Some may enjoy this exclusively because it provides solitude or just a bigger viewing screen and really cool environment. No matter where or if you fall on the scale, virtual reality is a promising frontier for all individuals, and I hope you stick around the channel to see my personal journey and experiences with VR over time. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate your time and viewership. If you would like to join the community, I host monthly VR tournaments and community nights in my Discord. I would love for you to stop by, say hi, and get involved. On top of that, we are always talking about new news and events in social and casual sport VR. I look forward to seeing you around.